had to go to Lindenhurst, do a show last Friday at the marina. And everyone was like, "Oh, you're going to Swindlehurst?" And I was like, "Swindlehurst." All right.
Swindlehurst.
Everybody's got names. Brent Hood, Massapequa.
I never heard that one. That's a good one.
I made that one up.
They did like a senior cut day, and they all came out to the beach. And
I
it
feel
was
like that happens every year. That happened in Long Beach last year.
Yeah, they did. They shut down the beach in Long Beach last year, but they called in. The state police called in the county police. The county police chased these kids off for a fucking helicopter. Like, I'm not exaggerating. You throw a baseball and hit a rollerblade. Like, that's how fucking close to it. The FAA had to do a investigation into like what was going on.
How do you control a crowd like that? There was thousands.
You drive a
of
fucking
kids.
helicopter through it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So
because what happens is that rotor wash down kicked up all the sand, and everybody was like,
"Oh yeah."
You know, I have questions about Robin Moses. I'm glad we just brought him up because I do jokes about the highways here on Long Island, right? So, you know, I always wondered why the on-ramps are so short, why the bridges are so low, why everything's so windy. And I found out Long Island has the most racist roads in the country.
well, yeah, I mean, listen, it's all North American, it's all European races.
You got to give Robert Moses credit, though. He was like the king of the races.
Yeah.
He was the king.
Well, I mean, listen, he had a plan and he stuck to it.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, though, about the name Robert Moses. It made me think, like, was that really his name? Was he born with the name Moses? Or did he, like, just feel like, you know what?
What do you think
I
that
separated the waters. I made a way for the people like Moses did in biblical times.
That's a great,
you know what I mean? Like, he's almost that much of a narcissist that, like, I could see that happening.
That's not his real name. That's definitely not his real name. You're right.
There's a complex there. That's a great point.
And also, like, why haven't they undone all that shit? You know,
I think it's too much money.
A long time ago.
It's too much money. Robert, the parkways, they said back in the day, obviously none of us are old enough to remember, but they said it was like driving through a park. You know, back when people gave a fuck and they took care of stuff. Now it's like memorial, fucking, you know, low bridge, tractor trailers. How that still happens blows my mind. There'll be Eagle Avenue, and it's just like somebody took one of those old can openers and just rolled back the top of it.
Every day. And sometimes you like see it, like them driving on those roads, and I'm like, wait a second, that was not supposed to be here.
Oh, but the best is when you're behind them and they go, right? You're driving, you see the bridge coming, and you're like,
Are you from out here originally?
No, I'm from Queens, Middle Village.
Middle Village. I know some people in Middle Village. Village Chapels. Andrew Anastasio? B. Anastasio Funeral
Yeah,
Home?
sounds very familiar.
I went to school with the son. And now you're out in West Bab?
Yeah.
That's where my funeral home is, on 109.
Oh, nice.
You know what PC Richards is? On 109?
Yeah, I mean, I know what 109 is. I'm like still...
So south of Sunrise. It's really east of Sunrise, believe it or not. It takes that weird turn over there.
Oh, yeah.
Try to give people, like, out-of-town people directions. And I'm like, they're like, all right, so I go south. I go, yeah, it feels like south, but it's not. Like, it's east of Sunrise Highway. And they're like, so south? I'm like, all right, so, yeah, south, fuck it. But you're not going to see any signs for it. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it's east. You'll see signs for east. Just go east, and we're a half mile down on your left. And they're like, all right, so south? And I'm just like, put it in your goddamn Google Maps.
Yeah, why are you giving directions in 2025?
Yeah, you still get some of the old timers calling.
I hate when people are like, how do you get there? I'm like, seriously, bro? You don't have a phone in your hand? Like,
Well, yeah, everybody.
I need to tell you?
Everybody's got a phone now at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a few people up in age that are like, hello, son. No, those are my people, though, dude.
Yeah, you need those people.
They're still on analog.
Yeah.
You need those people.
My mom will still like show. I'll be like, hey, I need to get to this place, and she'll give me like, okay, here's what you do: you go down this road, and you make a left here, and then you go down this way, and then make sure you got to take the second left, not the third left. And I'm like, Mom, just give me the address.
Makes it so much easier. You know,
So I could just type gossip into the phone. It's not a problem. I'll be there. Don't worry.
it's funny you know how to get home from there drunk though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be careful though, because there's a shortcut. You got to cut. You go right past all the cemeteries, and you give you one eye and it down to Wellwood Avenue. Oh, well, it's Pine Lawn Road over there, and it's just nothing but dead bodies on either side of you.
Nice.
And it's not Gilgo Beach.
Have you been out West Babylon for a while?
Maybe like a year now.
Oh, that's it.
I heard you talking about it on one of these stand-up shows. And you're like, yeah, I just recently moved out to West Babylon. And then like one guy was like, yeah. And you're like, well, it's not fucking Shirley.
Mastic.
Mastic is like the low-hanging fruit of
You know
white
what I
trash
mean?
towns.
Yeah, it's like, what's worse, Sheldon? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all the same shit. At
My
the end of
my
the day.
favorite is, not my favorite, but one of my favorites is my wife's best friends, Julie and Gerard. They're both defense attorneys, so I'm sure they're going to be thrilled that I said this. But he's from Center Reach. And when he references it now, he calls it Center Rico. And I'm like, oh, that's such a good name.
Well, I know a lot of people were telling me, because I had to go to Lindenhurst, do a show last Friday at the Marina. And everyone was like, oh, you're going to Swindlehurst? I was like, Swindlehurst. All right.
Swindlehurst.
Everybody's got names. Brent Hood, Massa Peak Horse.
That one, I never heard that one. That's a good one.
I made that one up.
What else is there? Wonderful White Wantor.
I was just
White Ice Lip.
I was just in Lindenhurst today. There's a new like Italian deli in the town there, and it has the same name as the place in Babylon, Gemelli's, right?
Yeah.
And so this bothered me. This ruined my whole entire day. Who the fuck heats up lettuce?
Animals, they become all soft. What's the point? You
Like
might as well get
I got a
escarole.
sandwich and they heat up the lettuce and the tomato
It's like
on the
wasabi,
sandwich.
right?
And I was like, I mean, I feel bad. I'm
Irish
blowing up their
people
spot,
do that.
but like, yeah, and I'm Irish, and I wouldn't even do that. You know?
Yeah, animals, that too.
Yeah.
Anti-American terrorists.
Blasphemy.
Oh my god.
What
Yeah,
I
that's
say.
a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places popping up over there. They really repopulated that whole,
Oh yeah.
like south of, what's that?
Well, what,
Strong?
Hoffman.
Hoffman.
Yeah, yeah.
They like, there at one point, there was like empty store, empty store, empty store, empty store, like, you know, what's that bakery?
Patsy's.
Patsy's. And
Black
then
Forest.
Patsy's.
I only know all the bakeries and pizza places and delis.
Yeah.
And whatever. That's about it.
Dude, if you ever get stuck on a show or on the road and you need to know a code to a Starbucks bathroom, that's your guy right there, dude.
I got a note in my phone with all the fucking Starbucks bathroom codes.
He used to sell beer. He'd be on
I
the
think
road.
that's an app potentially though. Like I
I
got
think that could be an app.
I got to monetize that.
Yeah, I think so.
I found one the other day that I had to go back through my notes and they fucking changed it on me though. So now I gotta.
I have a fear of like public bathroom usage, not for number one, but number two.
Me too.
Yeah, I get
I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
I literally drove back from a funeral directors conference in Jersey because I didn't want to use. So from Jersey all the way to Huntington at the time I lived, with 1 foot on the floorboard like this.
It's like a male version of Kegels.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm practicing for when I get locked up. Keistering, I think is the term, right?
Keistering, exactly. There you go.
So how'd you get into doing comedy?
The pandemic.
Oh,
actually. Sitting home, everybody's, on Zoom, this, that. So there was this app, Clubhouse, that I went on. It was like very exclusive at the time. You had to be like somebody. You had to be invited in. So you ever see the guy Little Mo Mozzarella?
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's my cousin. So he called me up. He's like, yo, you got to get on this app. So I get on the app. There's all these like comedy rooms and roast rooms. So I go into this roast room. I'm destroying people, right? So now I see like, there's like Tiffany Haddish, Jeff Frost, Jeff Carl, like
shit.
all these big names.
It was
But-
voice only, right? That's
Right.
what it was, right?
Yeah. But I'm like, that's not them. You know what I mean? It's just people like acting like them. So I start ripping Jeff Frost, right? Everyone in the room gets quiet. So I'm like, what the fuck happened, And then he gets on the mic and he's like, funny, buddy. Like that. I was like, oh shit, that's really Jeff Frost. And it was just from that moment on, it just started to steamroll. Everyone's like, man, how come we never heard of you? You're so funny. Like, where do you do comedy? I'm like, wherever I am, like, I'm not a comedian. They're like, get out of here. So then one thing led to the other. And from being on that app, I got booked on my first show. For my first show, I got put on like Michael Collier's morning show. Then from that, I got booked for another show and then another, and it just kept steamrolling.
Created a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. Pandemic,
The pandemic was awesome for me. I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, listen, I understand a lot of people didn't make it, but survival of the fittest, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing for
yeah,
some
I
people.
mean, listen, the traffic's killer. I feel like it didn't take out enough people.
Oh my god, dude! It was. Do you remember COVID traffic? It
was the best.
It was the best.
The best.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I was doing. I made it from my funeral home, West Babylon, to JFK Airport and back in less than an hour. Dude,
nice.
I was flying. And I don't want to say it was flying. There was just no
Swerving through all three lanes.
in the hearse.
Back and forth.
Tokyo Drift. I got a cameo on what's that show that never ends with Vin Diesel?
Fast and
Furious.
Yeah.
You get a cameo in there in the hearse, just like coming in sideways.
How was the transition though to like actually doing stand up? Was it different or you
It
kind
was
of
easy. I mean,
right into
I've
it?
always been funny. I'm always used like growing up. I was always the
Make me
one-
laugh.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, what you got in here?
No, make him, not me. I got self-conscious issues.
You know what it is? I love when people like. It's funny to say that. Like a lot of times I'm talking to people. I'll be talking for like 10 minutes, laughing the whole time. Then like, man, you should be a comedian. I'm like, funny you mention that. I am a comedian. Like, no way. Tell me a joke. And I'm like, I don't know. What do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, you drive Uber? Let me see you drop somebody off. Like, I don't like being put on the
Oh, yeah,
spot,
of
like
course.
in that sense. But my thing is, we were just laughing for 10 minutes. I literally told you about 25 jokes in the last 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Now, you know, I'm a comedian. I have to get very specific.
That should be
You know what
enough.
I mean? Yeah.
Trust me already. You
You
know?
should have like a good Nazi knock-knock joke.
Oh, I mean, I have very, very
For that
offensive
one.
jokes. It depends who I'm saying it to. If it's like a really white person, very liberal, I'll be like, what does Michael Jackson and caviar have in common? They both come on little white crackers.
Oh my god! I like. What's the British comedian that wears the suit? He always dressed up in a suit.
Oh, man, he looks like a mannequin.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what the hell is his name?
So he does a funny one about like a big tragedy in Africa. It's like
I know you're
there's
talking
not
about.
enough. All the mosquitoes that died from AIDS, as opposed to mosquito nets. I'm just like, oh my god, it's it's funny, but
That's the only way you could take it in those situations where they like tell me a joke. You just gotta fucking.
Oh, I
shout
go-
the shit
you
out
gotta
of
say
it.
the most horrendous shit
I
ever,
do. I say the most fucked up thing.
and then you don't laugh and you just walk away. Have a good day.
Nice to meet you.
I get it all the time. People are like, "Oh, can I come to work with you?" And I'm like, "If you want to see like the horrific shit I occasionally have to do, sure." I go. Most of the time, I'm kind of just like looking at TikToks. That's how I found you. I think it was TikTok or Instagram. I sent it to Crystal, and I was like, "Book, this guy's from West Babylon. He's funny." And it's just you like doing it.
Yeah, I love it.
We weren't no stage fright.
No, that was
Okay,
very
yeah.
natural. It's just,
I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and then B, in front of cameras and people. I've been talking in front of large crowds since I'm like a kid, and then I'm thinking to myself like, why don't I get nervous? I'm like, maybe I'm just too stupid to realize like,
Could be that.
it was like
like when I first started doing comedy, there's a comedian, Maz Jabrani. So, we were talking, and he goes, when you get on, how do you feel before you go on stage? You're nervous? You're anxious? Like, I'm like, I don't know. I said, I guess I'm nervous because I feel
you get a
all
little
types of ways, whatever, And he goes, well, let me ask you this. How do you feel when you get on stage? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Like, everything goes away. He goes, all right, so you're not nervous. You're anxious. You just can't wait to get up there. But once you're up there, he goes, if you're really nervous, you'll feel that while you're up there. But if that goes away as soon as you get up there, then he goes, you're not nervous. You feel at home then. And I said, hey, you made a good point,
Yeah, I think it's kind of how I would describe like, again, not that I'm on a stage, but in those instances, I'm like anxious to get started, and then like a minute in,
easy
I'm
to do it,
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, for comedians especially, it's when you hear that first laugh, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Second laugh, you're like, all right. Third laugh, you're like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? It just turns into a whole, you just start going. You start flowing, going into your thing,
What did you do for work before all this?
Construction, project manager.
Oh, nice. Are you still doing that or no?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I haven't worked in like a year, so hopefully
It's
I can
great.
keep it going. That
Hopefully
way.
it'll be to you. Double down on that
I'm
shit.
hoping. I like doing it. I enjoy it. It makes my day go by good.
Now, you writing material, or are you like Johnny on the spot type of guy?
No, I write a lot of material. I mean, I do some crowd work. The crowd work's more for like clips.
Right.
Because how many times can you post a joke?
Yeah.
Then you don't really want to put your good material out there.
Well,
So-
yeah, those like one-liner zings are.
Right.
I mean, that's all the clicks. Even this, I mean, like the podcast is great, and we have a good time talking to everybody, but it's the clips that bring
Right.
the attention. You got
100%.
Well, plus if you put
Seconds.
the regular stuff out there, then the people that are coming to your next show, it's like, yeah, I fucking heard this one already.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. It's funny with comedy, but some people come out because they want to hear those jokes. Like that's their favorite.
Just
Oh,
laugh with
say
other
that.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in a club to listening it to online, it's totally different.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
It really is. Being there is electric.
Have you had any like bombing stories?
That's what I was going to say.
No, I mean, honestly, like, I know I do this all the time, but I mean, it sounds conceited. I don't bomb. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm too funny to bomb. The thing is, I know how to read a room. I have a ton of material, and I can't ever picture going into a crowd and not making one person laugh. That's insanity to me. Right. The closest I came to bombing was I did a show in Boca with a comedian, Mike Marino. I open for him sometimes. And it was 600 people, right? Demographic, Jewish, age range, 75 to 115. Like, that was the demographic.
Hard, yeah.
It was crazy. I was using old references, and they still didn't even get it.
I'd have been like, so you guys just don't eat bacon? Like,
Yeah, that was the first thing I come out. I then when she goes, does he know we're Jewish? Because porkchopz. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be amazing, right? So I started going, and then what happened is the lights, for some reason, went haywire. So the lights shut off in the room.
magic.
All the lights went on stage, and they shut off on stage. Next thing you know, they have these strobe lights. There's some old guy going like this with the strobe lights. I'm like, you're giving him a stroke. He's dying, sir. Sir, I'm yelling into the thing. He's not saying nothing. I'm like, you killed him.
Shit.
You fucking killed him. Turn the lights on. He's dead.
Show's over.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden he came to. I was like, no, he's alive. He's alive. His pacemaker kicked in. He's alive. Made it. That was a close one. I was like, wish this guy happy birthday. This might be his last. Then I just started doing real old jokes. I was like, damn, these people are old in here. I'm like, look at this guy. You know, he helped Moses with the tablet, I said, you know?
Yeah.
I just started making like every old joke I could think of, and I started having fun on stage. And then they laugh with it and stuff like that. And then it was funny because after the show, some old dude, right? He goes, I got to do this. So he goes, wait, right? So now he's like this.
Shits his pants right there.
I'm 97 years old. I was like, you're going to be 98 by the time you get out of here. That's what I went through there.
So I have that happen to me all the time at funerals. I mean, I work with the elderly, right?
Yeah,
so like,
so
I have
funny.
to. That like awkward moment happens to me all the time where I have to like.
Wait.
All the architecture here is like.
I get on my phone, I'll start playing a game.
Yeah, I try not to bust the phone out in the middle of a funeral. Though. You know, it's like, but I'll literally just be like I have like Alzheimer's. I'm looking around like, oh
Yeah,
wow,
I mean,
like,
I
they put a
can't-
socket up there.
I can't control myself. That's one of my problems. It's a double-edged sword.
Well, yeah,
Sometimes I can't shut my mouth. I just can't. I
it
try.
happens to me too, but mainly here, not at the funeral. You can't catch a bad reputation. The horrific shit I've said in front of this poor girl is you know.
I guess that's it, though. If you keep the energy up and you keep moving through the awkward moments, you know, eventually you're going to get them.
Yeah, you have to own it, right? If you tell a joke and it doesn't work, what do? You're like,
Yeah.
well, I'm like, all right, we only got another 45 minutes of this. Everyone laughs, and you move on to the next thing. You know, if you see something's not working, get out of it.
Keep moving.
The problem is what people bomb is that's their material. That's all they got. So they start going, well, what else am I going to say? I got to keep going. Then they go a little faster. Then and next thing you know, now they're cutting off stage probably like 4 minutes early because they ran through their material because they got nervous. They didn't hear the laugh. So my thing is like, I'll start. Doesn't work? All right, fuck it.
Keep moving.
Go on to the next one. I'll just start throwing shit at the wall till I get people's attention. I'll start punching that up on stage, and then I'll go into material again. You know?
Well, you've been in those rooms when other people are bombing like that.
Oh
It's
my
fucking
God,
so awkward.
so funny. It's hilarious to me. And it's not funny that they're bombing. For me, it's funny that they thought people were going to laugh at that. Like, they thought in that, all right, I'm going to say this here. Yeah. They're going to laugh there. They're going to laugh here. Like, that's what you think as a comedian. And nobody was laughing. And it was just... To me, that's hilarious. I don't know why. I laugh at myself when I tell a joke and it doesn't work. And a way that I got around that in the beginning is I used to literally tell jokes on purpose that I knew were not funny. I knew they weren't going to work, but I did it anyway, just to like see how I could become funnier after I tell a joke that doesn't hit. What can I say after to make that funny?
That's
That's
good.
smart.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everybody that gets started, they're just waiting for that moment where people aren't going to laugh.
Right.
You know, and then they're like, we don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, I wrote a
Throw
set.
yourself in that moment, you know,
Right.
figure it out.
You got to be
100%.
prepared for when things don't go right.
Yeah.
So that
Plus,
you
I
can be
wrote a
good.
set for bombing. just in case I have a bomb, I have a whole set. This is what I'm gonna say.
Did you ever see Bill Burr bomb in Philly?
Oh, when he started.
And he
with
just
with
fucking
clock?
stood there and they were
Yeah.
throwing shit at him. And he was like, yeah, fuck you.
Started making fun of Rocky and shit.
Yeah, he started making fun of all things Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly's rough. Crowd.
Yeah.
So you've been all over the country?
Yeah.
That's
You got a favorite spot?
I mean, besides Governor's, because Governor's definitely one of my favorite spots to perform at.
Was that just because like it's the home field? Or?
Yeah, it's great crowd. The Long Island crowds are great. You know what I
Would you?
mean?
That's an intimate. You would consider that an intimate room, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like I've heard that term used many times by comedians. Is when they say that, is that what they're talking about?
I don't know. It sounds kind of gay to me.
It
You
is
know what I mean? I mean, that's just me. I mean, I don't love it intimate. For me, it's regular people. They're ready to laugh. Long Island is not like uptight. You know, they're not. They don't care about the woke PC. They just want to come out and have fun. They
Not
wanna
where if you go to the North Shore, you'll run into some of that. I would imagine.
Yeah, but they don't act like that around me because I'm too
Well,
aggressive.
they probably know you and your style as well.
Right.
Like like I'm not gonna go see some guy who's like I don't necessarily agree with on anything. Like I'm gonna like look for a guy I like you or
Yeah.
You know
It's
what was funny too back in the day? I mean, he got a little weird now. Is Jim Norton?
Jim Norton. Yeah, I know what they're about.
And he did that whole like Monster Rain series, which was hysterical.
Yep. It's interesting though because I think there's so many fucking funny people from here. Look,
Oh, there
Queens,
is.
Long Island.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't sometimes
But they're
translate
regular
elsewhere
people,
where it's like
too,
you
I
think
know.
it should. It's almost too abrasive in other places.
Yeah, I mean, you see, so when you see like city comedians come out to Long Island, they bomb. They don't do good at all because they're coming with like woke stuff and talking about homeless people. No one cares about that. Where's the homeless people really on Long
It
Island?
doesn't translate, and
No.
you don't have to be so
Right.
tight wound about it. You can be more free, and because people here can take it.
Right. Like Long Island comedians do good in the city because it's a breath of fresh air. It's something different. I'm not talking about being a white guy. Everyone hates me and homeless people and I take the subway and I go to therapy. No one gives a shit. No one cares at all about that. People
I
just
tell
want
you,
to
the fucking
laugh.
subway's a complete shit
It's
show.
hard. I would never take a subway. I would rather walk to the city than take a subway.
I took the subway in college. I went to college in Manhattan, and I think back now, like, what the fuck was I thinking? This
Crazy.
I like saw most horrific shit. People just passed out, laying in piles of feces,
Yes.
just like hanging out. I saw a rat in the subway once, dude. I'm not exaggerating. It was the size of a golden retriever. I was literally pointing at it, and everybody was just going about their day. I was like, is nobody seeing this fucking thing? Like, it had to be like a 30-pound rat just running back and forth. And I was like,
There's millions of
people are
down
just
there.
wired headphones on
Yeah.
still at this point. Just like
Just ignoring it.
going about their day. Some guy's shitting in a bucket over there. And I'm just like, hey, cops, stop and frisk was still a thing. And I would get stopped and frisked every day. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, look at me. I'm just like, I have like my JanSport on. I'm like, I'm gonna change the world.
They got to have demographic. We're going to make it fair.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's fucking. I just watching a TikTok of a guy getting stabbed like 5 times.
Oh, I saw he jumped up on
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, the guy was full train. Guy's just stabbing the shit out of a guy. I'm like, gee, first of all, why is this on here? Number one.
Yeah, it was on. Dude, it was on like Instagram.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like, usually they kind of monitor that shit.
I mean, no one's going to help you either today. No one.
No, I'm not getting
one-
stabbed for a stranger.
All they're doing is just going to video. That's it.
Yeah.
They just have your
I
death.
can count on one hand how many people I've made eye contact with when I'm like in the city. I think like that's just
Smart.
speaks for itself.
That is
you
wild,
can't.
though. No one's helping you, but they're pulling their phone out to take a video.
Everyone will.
of this shit.
You'll video it. You'll have enough video. Like that's the thing. Like even to like New York, right? In New York, you're not getting away with any. Cops' jobs are so easy today. Yes, they have it hard because of all the shit they have to deal with. But you know how easy it is for them to solve a crime? There's literally 30 people like, yeah, I got it right here. This is what happened. That what happened.
And there's a Ring doorbell every fucking
Yeah.
25
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
Now you go to like Maryland where nobody talks.
Dude.
You could literally kill someone in front of 100 people and not go to jail.
Dude, I
Nobody's
just
snitching.
came
No one's
back.
saying nothing.
I just came back from Maryland recently, and what a weird town. Oh, the city of Baltimore there's like the whole waterfront there, and it's very nice. 5-star, like not 5-star, but like 4-star hotels, and like all nice places to go. One of the best meals I ever had was at a restaurant down there, an Italian place. Can't remember the name of it, and then there's a Chanel. if you go one fucking
Oh, yeah.
half, not even a block, one like cross a street, and you're in the hood, and like the hood, like
It's like that show, The Wire.
Yeah,
That's
funny
exactly
too.
what it's like.
Exactly
Yeah.
what it's
that's exactly what it's.
That's what I think all of Baltimore is. It's one of the best shows of all time, but that's all I can think of when I think
Right,
about that
right,
town.
right.
Yeah.
That was a great show back in the day.
like.
You watch
It
that?
was a good show. Yeah, it was a
They were
good
like
show.
putting the bodies in the empty houses and fucking nailing them closed again.
Yeah, yeah.
That was crazy. That was wild.
Now, how did you come up with your name?
I've had it since I was a kid. Pork chops, Porky, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
nice Queens people.
Yeah, Italian shit, you know? Joey Pork Chops, you know? You always have to have some.
So I was asking Crystal, I was like, what do I call this guy? What's his name? She's like, Pork Chop. I'm like, I'm not calling him that.
Yeah, right. That's, you know what it is for me? It's a branding thing.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. It's, you know, I usually do merch and this and that. And,
You should come out with 2 raw fucking chops right around your neck.
but like, I'll wear like velour suits. For me, it's all about branding. It's, you go to see a show and they're like, what was that guy's name again? Tim, Mike, Bill,
Right.
like the little chubby Italian guy, Pork Chops. You don't forget that. Like,
Yeah.
because people laugh when I introduce myself. I'm like, Pork Chops. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, Pork Chops. Yeah, man.
It's plural?
Yeah,
More than
with
one?
a Z.
Okay.
I got like to make it difficult, you know.
Yeah. Pork Chop's easy. Is he sleeping? I don't understand. That's great.
That's a tough area where you're from, though, to be funny because everybody's fucking funny. You know, like,
That's even
so-
too like your cousin. We've had this conversation a million times.
Yeah.
That guy is every fucking union guy you've ever met.
Yeah.
It's just one day someone stuck a camera in front of his face. He was comfortable with it. Hey, your sister's ass, and, you know, how you doing? That's how everybody talks over there.
Really, so what happened was during the pandemic, he calls me up. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "No, what are you doing?" He goes, "I got an idea." I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "We should become famous." I'm like,
Let's do it.
I'm listening. What do you got? He goes, "Let's make Instagram accounts and we'll become famous." I was like, "Let's do it." I made 2 videos. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore," because you don't know what you're doing at first.
Yeah.
No.
So I make these videos. Take me like 4 hours to make one video. Then it took me like 8 hours to edit it. I'm like, I don't have enough time. I'm like, I'll just help you. You know what I mean? And he did.
He went what seemed like overnight celebrity, like straight up.
The thing is, you know, there was a lot of people like during the pandemic that blew up. That really, like one funny Lisa Marie, Rodea, Mo, Coos, the grown up Italian kids, New York Nico. All these people blew up. Like there's a lot of people blew up during the pandemic.
I don't know why those 2 Scarlata twins talk like that, though. It drives me crazy. I've said this from day one. You know, it's like you're going to have an aortic aneurysm. Stop. I'm sure they're very nice.
Yeah, they're
we
cool.
actually
They're
have,
good kids.
we actually share the same PR team, too. Shirata.
Okay,
Anthony?
yeah, I know Anthony, very good. It's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, we've been trying to like get together to collaborate for a while. Matter of fact, I called him, spoke to him, and then you didn't answer my call.
They want me to do
Breaking
they
Bread.
want me to be I don't know, they want me to do something on their podcast.
Yeah, they did a Breaking Bread.
Yeah, but they want me
podcast.
to like I guess he's stepping away from the cameras, Anthony. So they're trying to fill a spot.
Gotcha.
So I guess everybody on his team voted for me, but they want to do like a contest or something
That's
like
just
that.
they haven't seen me yet. That's why. I'm available. Maybe not. Actually, maybe go fuck yourself.
Have you guys seen like the platforms like slowing down, Instagram and those things?
I mean, in
like,
the summertime, I feel like it always slows down.
yeah. Not overall though. Like, just keep doing what you're doing.
Nah, yeah, like I feel like I mean, even comedy slows down in the summer.
Yeah.
Does it? I would think it would speed up in the summer.
Nobody wants to be inside,
Right.
I guess so.
especially here on the island. Everybody's on a boat or beach or, you
I
know.
love going out on the boat. It's like my little slice of heaven.
See, you're not seeing comedy. You're on a fucking
Throw
boat.
this fucking thing
Prove
away.
this point.
I mean, you know,
In the
it's-
daytime, I want to see comedy in the evening.
There really is nothing like going to a comedy show because I struggle with watching the specials. Like by myself, it's like it's so much better.
Well, you're
to be
able to
around
pause
people.
it, and you
know?
know you can go if you're sitting
I don't
if you're
know.
sitting front and center. Dude, when I saw Jim Norton, we were sitting there, me and my like 10 of my friends. He was talking about like brotherly sodomy, and my friend Justin gets up and he just goes, "Bringing back bad memories, sir." And I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "I'm not getting up to piss." I'm like, the last thing I need is to like my shirt's up and like something's hanging out. I was just like,
Kind of is like the golden age of comedy, though. Now I feel like the podcast really helped that out.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that social media in general,
Both,
like you're
yeah.
able to reach millions of people across the United States and the world.
No gatekeepers anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
like
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's like I don't know. I feel like it kind of watered down comedy
much?
too. I think so because now it's not about being funny.
Yeah.
Now it's about
Grabbing
numbers,
attention.
how many followers you have, how many. Obviously, comedy clubs, it's a business, right? You got to fill the seats. If you can't fill the seats, you're not worth anything. You could be the funniest person alive, but if you can't get people to pay for your tickets,
Yeah.
what good are you? You're no good. You know what I mean? So you'll have a lot of these, social media guys that have these huge followings that will come out and be like, yeah, I'm doing comedy now. And they go do comedy. And it's, the first run is cool because a lot of the people that come aren't true comedy people. They're coming out to see you. Or, they're a fan. They just want to meet you. If it's a good show and you are funny, that's a bonus.
Right.
But they're not... they don't know what to expect. They're just coming out to come out, So if the person isn't funny, it's like, yeah, they do great the first time. Second time around, yeah, it's 70%. Third time, you're at 30%. So it's just kind of like those people now, new to comedy, like, oh, yeah, comedy's not that great because you're watching comedy from someone who doesn't do comedy. So you're judging it off of something entirely makes no sense, So it's...
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword.
I feel like there was a lot to what you said too earlier. Was like when you put too much out, it's like you feel like you've seen it already, and like that happens even to like shows now. You get advertisements for TV shows or movies on your phone, and then you start watching the clips, and it's like, oh, I've seen a significant amount of this already. I know what's happening.
Yeah, that's it. It's like I find it really hard to laugh at those comedy specials. It's like, but that I also think it does that if you consume a lot of it. That like. You notice when somebody's great too.
Right.
Like there's still that going.
I think politics kind of put it's low hanging fruit, but like at the same time, I used to think Bill Burr was the funniest man alive for a long time, and then I'm not knocking his marriage, but he married a woman who was like ultra left, and like it changed him.
Oh yeah,
well,
100%.
listen, if he's happy, he's happy. God bless him. He's got a beautiful family. But like from like the comedic standpoint, I saw he's still hysterical. I don't know if you saw his last stand up. Drop Dead Years, dude.
I've opened for him in L.A.
He referenced like funerals and going to funerals. Right. He's like, and I'm just sitting there. It's an open casket. Like I believe he's dead. Like what you got to show me? He's like, and I'm just sitting there looking at my friend, looking at his dead head. I'm like, oh, it's kind of true.
Were you like into comedy growing up? People you respected and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Always loved comedy. I mean, all the greats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Rodney Dangerfield, very, very funny with the one-liners. Don Rickles, the whole Rat Pack thing, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy was so funny.
Yeah, he was
Dude,
hilarious.
Raw and Delirious are
I mean, those
like
all
top of the heap.
100%.
Oh, when he's talking about, I know, like, I try to use this as like a business tool, so I shouldn't say it, but like when he's doing like the whole guinea goo goo, and like he gets all the pussy, oh, excuse me, I dropped that, that's mine, put it back in the pocket. It's just so fucking funny. He's like, 6 months ago, you were sitting on a zebra with a bone through your nose. Now you want half? They're talking about divorces. Oh my God. So, it's true.
But that's it. There was so much less of it that you were seeing back then. So when you saw it, like not everybody had a comedy special,
Yeah, you had to go out to see
You
it.
had to go out, yeah.
You couldn't it wasn't so accessible.
Yeah, it was like, and then they'd have like the HBO ones where they'd have them on like 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. And that was like the Super Bowl.
Well,
The guy that produced all the HBO specials, guy Marty Callner, I met him on Clubhouse, and he was one of the people that pushed me to do comedy. He's like, just go write for 5 minutes. Write 5 minutes and come back in a month, and we'll see. And I ended up winning some contests with my first 5 minutes. But yeah, he did every HBO special there ever was.
Yeah, like Chris Rock and all those guys.
Chris Rock, Dane Cook, Tracy Morgan,
Yeah.
all of them. He even did the Hard Knock Life on HBO, the football show.
The football
He
one, that's a
also
great
did
show.
that. Yeah.
Great show.
Not for the Jets, though,
No.
or the Giants. That whole Joe Shane, you a Giants fan? So that fucking, what's his name? Joe Schoen, Shane?
Yeah.
He, like, they videotaped him.
The
like,
off-season one.
calling Saquon, like, hey, pal, how you doing? Summer's going well, or whatever he fucking said. And then, was it Tish or Mary? Somebody walked in, one of the owners walked in, and he's like, I've been losing sleep about this Saquon thing. Like, we got to get that, like, wrapped up. He's like, I'm losing sleep about it. He's like, all right, like we'll take care of it. Like the next day he signs with Philly.
Yeah, you knew how that was going to end. First of all, he said to the guy, go get a good contract and come back and we'll match it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, well,
just give me the good one,
I feel like they blew that dude.
Yeah.
Like they really did. And he went, not only that, he goes and wins a fucking Super Bowl,
next
sets
year.
a rushing record.
Next year.
But it was injury. How do you, I wanted to ask you, like, what's your process and what's uncomfortable to you? Because him and I have had this conversation. We've been doing this together for a little bit now. And, like, I don't do well in the moments of silence. Like, how just everybody stopped talking.
Right.
My brain goes, it's quiet. Say something quick. And then, whatever comes flying out of my mouth. How do you handle those awkward moments?
I just say something fucked up. Usually, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
Me too. I usually
so does he, actually.
usually
So you
something
guys
about
are fucking-
Chinese people.
Like we did this show at the brokerage, right? So it was an open mic. So I was helping my friend Sean Brown host. So there was some older guy. He brought like 30 people there, right? We waited because usually when you bring a lot of people on open mic, you put them on last. You don't put them first, because then everybody leaves for some reason during the show, right? So we put him on last, and he forgot his lines. He had like almost a meltdown on stage, and I was like,
Must have been wonderful to watch.
yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there because I'm like emotionless. Like I have no empathy for anyone. I don't feel bad for myself. Why would I feel bad for you? So it's like he's trying to remember these lines, and he's on his phone now. He was supposed to do 7 minutes. He's about 13 minutes in. He's on his phone. Wait, give me a minute. Looking for the notes, trying to listen to voice notes. So I'm like,
terrible.
And it's just quiet and everyone's looking. So I'm like, show me your dick. Like I was just saying stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then,
Dude, you rescued that situation.
yeah, but no, it got worse because then he sits down.
I bet.
He sits down and he just he was defeated. And I was like, oh man, his wife comes up. So I'm like, shit, I got to go talk this guy off stage. I'm like the worst person. I'm like, jump. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, there's still a full crowd in there?
yeah,
And he's
still a
just
full crowd.
losing his shit?
Still a full crowd, right? So now I'm like, listen, this happens. What are you going to do? And then the other two comedians like, listen, this happens to us all the time. I'm like, listen to them. It happens to them. You know what I mean? Because it never happened to me. Right?
You should keep my business cards in your pocket just for when that happens. You just be like, here you go.
You might
Call
need
my
this.
buddy Vin.
That story just made me so fucking awkward.
Yo.
Oh my God.
But now finally we talk him out of it. He gets up. He gives this whole TED Talk speech, and everyone stands up, claps for him. And then I get on the mic. I'm like, listen, this is not easy what we do. It's very hard to get up here in front of these people, work on material. So he felt like, he starts walking away. He got like maybe 10 feet. I look at his kids. I'm like, what a loser.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
The whole place erupts. Like, it was crazy.
You ever talk to him after that?
Yeah, he charged the stage. But I I started laughing. I just couldn't stop laughing. But I was like, nah, I'm fucking with this comedy, bro. This is what it is.
It amazes me how
what we
many
have
funny
to do.
people are so thin-skinned.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
tough
I mean,
one.
it's like that. You get this shit, you can't take it.
Yeah, no, but like I feel like in your situation, I would imagine like when you guys are all together, it's like a
Yeah.
constant like what's that ball busting or ribbing or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, it depends
Roasting.
who you're with.
Roasting.
Like, see, a lot of comedians don't like me because I'm like that. I'm very bullbuster. A lot of comedians aren't. They're actually introverts. Like, they're not funny people just normally. They learned how to be funny. They learned how to write this material, but you talk to them, they're friggin' weirdos.
They feel like they're wasting it if they're not on stage doing it in front of people.
I feel like they're just not funny like that. Like
Yeah.
they just not. They can't be in that moment and funny. Like they have to like think about it, write it, and
It's like more like the writers and less of like performers.
yeah. I mean, like listen, a lot of people in comedy
good
aren't
analogy.
just naturally fun. That's why it takes people like 10+ years to be good in comedy because there's so many steps that goes into it. First, you have to learn how to be funny. Then you have to write material. You have to have good stage presence. Your timing has to be right. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So when you're learning that, it's people always writing and they're trying to make their set perfect. That's why you'll hear a lot of people with the same set for multiple years. Because they just got it perfect and now they're running it and that's their claim to fame. Like if I tell a joke 3 months ago, I'm probably not saying it today. Like I constantly doing new material all the time.
Yeah, I would imagine it's really current events.
There's no
right?
shortage of
Yeah, especially nowadays.
crazy shit going on.
It's your viewpoint, it's just how you see it. What made this so funny to you? And then you explain why this is funny. This is funny to me because it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
kind of like your viewpoints, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think I do. There's a part of me that likes when people bomb though. To watch the squirmy awkwardness where I'm just like, and it's not a better you than me type of. I mean, it is, but it's also like I thrive in awkwardness. I'm in awkward situations every day. So my mom died, or this, that, the other thing, and it's just like, I'm sorry. And it's like I try to lighten up my funerals as much as I can in a classy way.
Right.
I'm not out there like So knock knock. Who's there? Not your dad. I try to put the fun in funeral.
I've been to some of those like comedy. They do like the college thing at Governors where they have like the class for a few months and then they do it at the end, and those are pretty brutal.
Is it? I never even heard of it.
Best friend of mine did it for like 2 months, and it was him and the guy Tank Sinatra.
Yeah.
They were in the same class. And they were like best friends, and they were funny. But the first like 8 guys, I was like, oof.
Yeah, because you figure those people, they learn, they're right in their first 5 minutes. Yeah. So, it's not easy doing comedy, especially if you're not funny. Like, I mean,
especially if you're that other guy.
Yeah.
Who bombed harder, him or Tel Aviv?
What?
Who bombed harder, him or Tel Aviv?
Is the guy still doing it?
I don't think. I mean, I don't know.
I hope not.
Say his name.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. No, man. Yeah, it's just,
I also think growing up in like a populated area like New York, Queens,
It's got to be something to that.
There's 100% is because you look at guys like him and Mo and like that whole like crowd. Those are normal guys to us. It's just so like when we look at you and all of us, we've said this literally 100 times. It's like that's a regular guy to us.
Yeah, you could be hanging out with this guy.
Yeah, and like you go like bumfuck middle country, and it's like they're slapping their legs, laughing, and they're like, "How am I doing? How
just
you
talking
doing?
What? Like,
Yeah.
My sister's ass." It's
But I
like
even saw
that's part of my vernacular every day.
I even saw that like when I went away to college, like being from Long Island, like going upstate New York. It was just like the people from up there. It's different, like Jesse.
But they're
and I
genuinely nice.
Yeah, they're nice. But Jesse and I would go to college. We'd go to college together, ripping the shit out of each other from day one.
Yeah,
and
you
they're
guys
looking
are-
at us like,
You guys are friends.
what's going on?
Yeah, like that. When like people met me and my friends, they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "He's my best friend. That's my cousin." Like, what? They're like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, this is what we do. We just make fun of each other for 13 hours a day."
I feel like that's healthy though.
Definitely, I think so.
Like, and it makes it easier for when like that person's like really in crisis or has something going on.
Yeah.
Like, it breaks down the barriers to like have a real conversation with them.
Yeah.
It's less awkward.
Definitely.
Because you just told them previously they were a total faggot.
Yeah. And then they're like, "No, you don't understand what happened. My dog died. And then my father's in the hospital." And I'm like, "Bro, stop being a pussy." Like,
Yeah. And
like,
you don't mean it
everyone's
like,
gonna die. So are you.
yeah, you don't mean it like you're being a pussy. You just
Right.
mean it like, hey, love you, sorry, there's not much we can do. Let's go to the strip club.
Life goes on.
Yeah, it's like, man up. What are we doing here? You
Yeah.
know? That's how I feel with the world today. Everybody needs to man up a little bit.
Well,
Men
yeah,
and bitches
definitely.
today, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, one side is like, sometimes could be a little much. The other side doesn't know which bathroom to use. So, I mean, I don't feel like
There's bitchiness everywhere.
everywhere. Listen, it's the two extremes. It's the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So
That's
it's you got the loud people on the end, and you come a little closer, and it's like one step in, and you got everybody getting in the middle that's just getting it from every end, and it's like you don't know who to believe anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even watch the news anymore. I started like rewatching comedies.
Either one though. I don't. Here's my thing: right wing, left wing, same bird, right? Like I feel like the joke's on us.
Right.
It's not on them. Yeah. Like when those cameras shut off, what do you think? They're still fighting? Like that was a good one. Thanks a lot. Like I feel like they're still
who
friends.
says that? Jesse, our buddy Jesse.
Yeah, I feel like they're still friends. Like
he swears by that because it's like if you said the things they said like to each other to me is there's a chance that we're gonna have a fight.
100%.
And, like,
they don't just sit there.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care.
It's a game.
Think about when Trump was roasting Chuck Schumer and Kamala Harris. Chuck Schumer was literally right here.
Yeah, but you
to
know
Trump.
what? So to counter that point, though, do you remember when Obama was shitting on Trump at that White House Correspondents' Dinner or whatever it was, and you saw him? That was the exact moment. He said, "Oh yeah, watch this, motherfuckers." You saw that live, oh fuck. So I mean, if the liberals should be mad at anybody, it should be Obama.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't believe any of it. It's, I know everything's perception, right? So like right now, everyone before Trump was like walking on eggshells. Like everyone was making believe they were woke and PC because who was watching, who was listening. But now all of a sudden Trump's president, it's like, fuck the gays, fuck this one, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Because it's like, where were you 2 years ago saying this? No, you were like, oh, yeah, gay people are cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They're not even on the endangered species list anymore.
yeah, it's
dude.
crazy. It is.
They're like normal now. You remember back in the day, it was like, no, you won't be gay. And it was the rainbow flags, and now it's like the gay people are all, conservatives now.
Right. It's because, even they don't like the shit they're seeing about everything.
Right.
And my big thing is, too, like, who cares?
Live and let
Right.
live. I've said that a million
Right.
times.
It's like, who cares? Like,
The
at the end of the
Transformers, though,
day.
they confuse me.
Yeah, my thing is, I respect anybody who gives a blowjob, right? It's an art form. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I was on a movie set, and this girl comes up
Kurt.
to me, and she's like, did you know Anthony was gay? I'm like, oh, get out of here. You mean Anthony? Like, are you serious, bitch? Where the fuck do you come from? Like that's like, and why did you even feel comfortable enough to come up to me of all people? Because I guess because I'm Italian, I'm every stereotype in The Sopranos. So people just automatically assume I'm like racist, sexist, homophobic. So they always tell me some fucked up
Probably
shit.
right.
Which is kind of hilarious at sometimes. But then I send it back to them and make them feel like stupid,
Yeah.
which is funny.
They deserve that, though.
100%.
So you got anything new coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I got a few shows coming up, like in Jersey, and I'm trying to put like a tour together right
Oh,
now.
nice.
Yeah.
So how do you do that on your own, or you find like a headliner or somebody big?
Yeah,
Try to like staple yourself to them.
I'm gonna be the headliner.
Do you know Rhodia?
Yeah.
Dude, his impression of his dad, instantly I start fucking cackling.
Yeah, he's funny.
It's like reminds me of my childhood. Like, it really is spot on.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
You know who fell off too is I think Maniscalco. I mean, funny still, but peak the Entenmann's bit was like peak.
Right. The problem is his special sounds like his last special. He's the same exact thing, just in a different store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you wanted more, but it wasn't there. I mean, he's still a funny dude for sure. But I mean, I don't know. I guess that's what happens to people when you start making money and you make it.
Yeah.
Like you just
Yeah, well, same thing with like UFC fighters,
Sure.
boxers. They're in the grind. They're coming up.
Yep.
They make
Hungry.
it, and then all of a sudden they got a little bit, and they got to protect it, and they're not as
Different. Play it safe.
enthusiastic. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. What's like the big thing? Like, what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to take this to? Like, what
do you
wanna
wanna
do? What's the
do?
big thing you want to do?
me.
Yeah.
I just want to be a legend in comedy. I want to be known forever, like one of the greats. That's my goal in comedy.
That's fucking good. That's a nice goal.
That's really it.
Shoot for the stars, right? You might make it to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, people like, ask me, like, you in it for the fame, for the money. And I'm like, honestly, if I really got to be honest,
Yes.
I'm in it for the pussy. Like, that's what I'm in it for.
It's interesting. Like, what's the doing shows and stuff? I'm sure that energy is amazing and you love that. But what else is there? Like movies and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. I'm actually shooting a movie right now, a movie called Avenue U. So it's like a current modern day Italian. I would say it's a gangster movie, but not your typical gangster. Like people aren't wearing suits.
Is it like
It's very
that
realistic.
Gravesend one?
Nah, Gravesend, that to me is more like
Terrible.
I can't. They're my friends.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I think it's a great show.
Make sure you tag him in that clip.
No, the thing
They're gonna edit that part out.
here's the truth. I mean, listen, it's written well. It's I mean, we're editing this out.
No. I'm teasing.
Nah, it's a good show. I have a lot of friends that are on and stuff like that, but that they're going for more like, I feel like themed, like Goodfellas, Bronx Tale, like that.
They're
which is-
redoing what was done.
Right. So that's why I got into this project, because it's the opposite of that. Like, nobody's wearing a suit. If anything, wearing Nike suits or something. Like, if the mob was around today, what would they really be wearing on the street?
What would they be saying?
Right.
About
They'd
the
be
state of
wearing
affairs?
regular clothes. You know, they'd be working union jobs, like just being regular people. Yeah. So I like that aspect of it, that it's real, not too overdone.
Imagine Tony Soprano talking about like LGBTQ plus IUA, whatever it is.
Probably not.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
I just call them the pride people.
Yeah, listen.
There you go.
Well, where do you draw the line? So it's like LGBTQ, and I think that's where I stop.
Yeah, I mean, the most I'll go is a hand job. That's the furthest.
Close your eyes. You don't know nothing.
Play it safe.
I don't go past that. That's
You close your eyes and that's it.
Yeah,
that's where I draw the line.
You wouldn't know one way or the other.
I mean, it's Pride Month. Everybody should blow someone.
All right, roll tape. Here we go. Shotgun going last.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, here's the thing. I even talk about it sometimes. I kind of think gay dudes got it right. I'm not going to lie.
Of course they do, dude.
They really do.
Minus the HIV thing.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, think about the typical night in a gay guy's house. It's like, hey, what are you doing later? Want to come over, watch the game? Give each other hand jobs? Sure, let's do it. Right? Great night. It's a fucking great night. And you know he's going to be respectful and do it during halftime. He's not going to be like a woman. Like, are you paying attention? Are you listening? Are you listening? Right?
Have you ever seen like those marriage stats? It's like men and women 50-50, right? I think lesbians is like 25%, but gay guys, 95%. They stay together forever.
Yes.
Well, no, so you got to twist it. So it's so Anthony Rodia actually says this in one of his jokes. So it's 50% or 50-something% for man and woman.
Yeah.
It's the divorce rate for lesbians is 77%.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And for the divorce rate for gay men are 22%.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah, they stay together forever.
Yeah.
Why not?
So you see what the problem is.
I think somebody makes a joke about that, like being at the bar with like a lesbian. Sure problem.
How come that one doesn't work out so well? The lesbian ones. What's going on there?
I mean, we all know the answer. I'm just trying not to get canceled.
I mean, I'll say it. These bitches are crazy.
I believe the term is bitches be tripping. So getting back on track, it is a funeral themed show. Have you thought about your own
right
demise?
now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Any thoughts on what you'd want for yourself
What, if I die?
if you died? Funeral-wise?
Yeah, I'm doing some stupid shit. Like, you open
Well,
the
you won't be
coffin,
doing anything.
I'm not there, and then I'll, like, pop out from the curtains or something. That would be hilarious to me.
You could put something in the casket. Like, I've seen this, it was like an Irish wake where they put like some sort of like not a boom box. I'm dating myself, Jesus. Like a pill, like a Beats pill in the casket. And as he's going down, like you hear like,
Oh, I've seen that.
help!
Oh, really?
Fuck!
Let me out of
here! Yeah.
Anything,
Other than that, you won't be moving around.
is there anything funny happen at funerals like that you guys
The
see
rabbit.
regularly?
The rabbit.
Rabbit.
Thing.
That's right. Yeah.
We had a kid who, he had issues, obviously. I'm not making fun of the kid. I'm making fun of the situation. This is a 103-year-old family owned and operated business. I've been there since I'm a little boy. Got my funeral director's license in 2007. I've done thousands of funerals. I walk in a room, there's a baby carriage, kid clearly has something wrong with him. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm like, they let him play with the baby. I look down and it's a 30-pound hair, floppy ears and everything. And I was so caught off guard by it that I choked a little bit. I was like, and there was a woman across the chapel who watched me the whole way, watched me like intellectualize like that's actually a rabbit, and was fucking like knee slapping laughing like, and we made eye contact, and I was like, then here's the best part, like a month or two later they come back, there's a rabbit, and I gotta say, well-behaved rabbit, didn't shit on the floor. I got no problems, as your cousin would say, I want no problems.
No problems. That's funny.
Yeah, it was a weird experience.
It's crazy.
That and like the occasional heroin addict at the funeral home, and I'm like, see you soon.
You give the card to that family.
Dude, my friends at Johnson, they had like a whole, like the horror show that they would. It was a heroin addict like shooting up in the bathroom, like blew a vein, blood was just like.
At the funeral,
they had to call the cops. The cops came like at the funeral, and like they locked the. I don't remember if it was a guy or a girl. They locked the person up, and like they just like the cops just go, okay, see you, bye. And meanwhile, it looks like a Saw movie in the general bathroom.
Jesus.
And I'm like talking to the guy Mike. I'm like, what'd you do? I'm like, well, fucking put gloves on. We cleaned it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's why funerals are $20,000 occasionally.
Jesus.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, I can't. I hate when people cry. It just annoys the shit out of me. I really does. Like, I mean, if it's for a good reason, I guess. But like, Grandma, no, she was like 95 years old. Like, what did you expect Grandma to do? Live to like 200? Look like Tales from the Crypt? Like,
my favorite, dude, is when they go, oh yeah, I don't know about going in the ground. Like, hi, how am I gonna breathe? And I'm like. I gotta sit there straight faced. Like, no, I understand what you're saying.
That's the only response.
Instead, I want to be like, actually, to counter your point, you're dead. You're not breathing. But obviously, you can't say
my
that.
mother's like that. She's claustrophobic. She goes, I can't. I'm gonna be in that. I can't handle that. I'm like, you're dead. Like, you're not even here anymore. You're gone.
Yeah, it's my problem.
Like, she's like, but then the bugs. I'm like, once again, dead.
Well, you also, too, depending on what you do, you put them in a vault, which is pretty much like a casket for the casket and nothing getting in there.
Yeah, it's like St. John's. I got half my family up in a wall.
Yeah, John Gotti's over there, too, to get written permission from the Catholic Church to be buried there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And God.
I think they just got in trouble, too, recently.
Yeah, I seen that.
Something happened.
Yeah, they beat up some guy or something like that. The guy was doing something to a
One of those Agnello kids is a UFC fighter.
Yes.
I think he goes by Gotti Jr.
Yep.
or whatever. But yeah, I heard. I mean, he probably got a propensity for
some
violence.
guy did something to a girl, and I know, I heard it. Like, I forgot. I'm trying to remember. But
I'm not with the police.
Yeah, no, it's like somebody did something to some girl, or they robbed them, or something crazy.
All right, we got to move in.
They robbed them, or something like that. And I guess
something happened at the house. You're right.
Yeah,
and
something
then,
like that.
They beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I mean, isn't that better though? In reality, like you do something stupid, you get the shit kicked out of you, you get to go home.
That's it.
Now you get the shit kicked out of you, you call the police, everybody gets locked up, including you.
Right.
And you go viral for it.
And you, well, how'd you get famous? Well, I robbed one of the Gaudis and they beat the fucking shit out of me. What'd you think was gonna happen?
And now I write a book about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that whole family was wild. That whole like growing up Gotti thing was like it was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Didn't the house like run down and they just sold the house recently? Victoria Gotti's house somewhere. It
I
was
think
like,
they ran into like some financial problems because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
also had like I think one of the kids got into it at like a basketball game in I can't remember the name of the area.
they're from like North Shore, right?
Yeah, like wealthy area.
Old Westbury.
That's
Yeah,
it,
somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, they had like a big fight like in the gymnasium on a basketball court.
Smart.
I didn't think Italians played basketball though.
Yeah, me either.
I guess just the Sicilians do.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Pesci did pretty good in the Super, but remember that movie?
Listen, we appreciate you coming. We're gonna wrap up now, and it was great to meet you. And I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
And when
appreciate
I'll
it.
keep a lookout for you when you are local over here at the brokerage. I live right over there, so
Oh, nice.
we'll come down and see you. You can count my tickets. We got a funeral in progress.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Breaking live on Dead Serious.
Somebody's grandma died.
Did you get the car that crashed into in Manhasset? Did
No,
you get them? Too far?
that's far out of my way.
It's Nassau County. It's
Yeah, it's not
those
but that's where you
lowlifes.
want to get those up in Manhasset. Those are the funerals you want.
Yeah, but I don't think the guy lives there. He
I
just
charge
crashed
$7,000
into a
over
house and
there. They
died
do the
there.
same thing. It's $14,000. They triple the price, double the price. All because of logistics.
That's it.